Hey, y'all, gravity, any day above ground, live it. We are here another week, and it's the last week of Black History Month, so make sure you lionize the ancestors. This is going to be fun. Okay, we've had enough jokes about the Black conservatives. That's easy fodder. Today, we're going to talk about the Black Democrats. You know them, folk. Yeah, I'm wearing the bucket hat today. The Black Democrat is trying to court back Black votes, and it's quite sad because their efforts are just futile at this point. We already told y'all the couch is looking mighty fine, and for some of us that can afford it, we're going to open it up to the pull-out bed, and we're fixing to watch the world burn, as evidenced by the big homie. That's right. The big homie said one time he just wants to watch the world burn. I think we're at that point. But like I said, today, the Black Democrats get in the spotlight. We're going to look at a couple of them, and we're going to go down the list because they out there. But before we begin, let's see who is in the building. Jerry Bedford, good afternoon. Cosmic Fury, good afternoon. Wild J, good afternoon. Miss Nisi, good afternoon. Tyquin Campbell, good afternoon. Those who haven't said anything yet, or those that are going to be in the comment thread of the replay, good afternoon. All right, let's begin. Because it's time to talk about the Democrats.
No. Bro, ain't no motherfucking way, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way.
I know it's easy to talk about the Black conservatives, but we got to give the Black Democrats some shine. I mean, you know, they got the D behind their name, pause. All right, let's begin.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Family, we're going to start here. That's right. We're going to start here. Oh, Simone Sanders, a.k.a. Mrs. Nightmare. Oh, she got on the weekend and started talking. She started splaining. Shame, blame, and explain. Shout out to Blacklight Revelations. Shame, blame, and explain. Who is this old Negro and why does he have bigger ears than me? But that's all right. That's not what we're here for today. We're going to listen to what they said. Fair use. Go ahead.
Yeah, this conversation's already started. Joining the table now is Dr. Jason Johnson. He's professor.
It's Shaquille O'Neal if he didn't make the NBA and he wasn't 7 feet tall. Holla at him. Now, does he know how to make free throws when it counts?
Politics and journalism at Morgan State University and the host of the Slate podcast, A Word. Welcome, my brother.
A word. A word. Here's a word. We don't know him. But it's funny. You're going to talk about Black people and Democrats, and you have a white woman on the dais. We already know where this is going. And why does Mrs. Nightmare look like she's going early for the St. Patrick's Day parade? Someone help me, please. What is going on here? All right. I do want this desk, though. That desk look kind of fire.
You have a word for us this morning. So I just want to just put in the middle of the table here. It's like a big croissant, right? All flaky and ready to talk about, because when you bite
not a biscuit
into it, it is nasty as hell. And that's what we heard from Donald Trump in South Carolina. What was your reaction to this conversation in front of a room of African Americans, in which he, in my estimation, sounded ignorant?
He doesn't sound ignorant. He sounds like...
Oh, Negro, why? Why? See what I mean? It doesn't matter what side it is. We get it. Slang is great. We get it. It makes the sentences sound a little better and makes the conversation go a little quicker. You don't have to use it every time. It's okay. It's great. We understand what you're trying to say. You could have just said ignorant. It's okay. How do you sound ignorant? You're forcing it. It's okay. We get it. Go ahead.
Trump. This is the same guy he's been for the last 25 or 30 years.
Bruh, I need you. I'm sorry for keep doing this, but bruh, either this is, I'm hoping this is the earpiece behind your ear.
He doesn't sound ignorant. He sounds like Trump. This is the same guy.
Or is, I'm hoping this is it. Or I hope this is not here, but your neck fat is going crazy. I got to stop doing that. This ain't about a roast session yet. Sorry.
He's been for the last 25 or 30 years. This is the same guy. I mean, he just emasculated Tim Scott earlier this week.
Yes.
And basically said, you've been bojangling and dancing for me for weeks. You did a better job talking about me than you. So why are we surprised that he gets in front of a room of black people and treats them like idiots, treats them like they are lucky to be there? The thing that got me, honestly, Michael, is I didn't see any Trump Force Ones. I mean, that's what I was looking for. I was
Okay, see, I told y'all them sneakers were going to be problematic, but okay. Did you expect him to wear that? I don't know. Did y'all get what he did? So even black people can't even go to a classy event. They gotta somehow somebody gotta hood it up. They were expecting some rapper to walk in there without a tuxedo on. All right, got it.
Black people, I thought we were all going to vote for Trump because he has a new pair of sneakers out. But none of this is shocking. And I don't think that any of the people.
Okay, he violated. He definitely violated. I understand this is a cable news show, but I didn't realize that the name of the channel was MSNB. We.
Who is we? Who is we?
They're talking a lot of French on a Saturday morning. I thought I was on the Riviera.
People there expect any better of him, because if you're voting for Donald Trump and you actually want to show up in a place where you claim to be a Christian and want to vote for Donald Trump, you're already lost. And you're not a voter that can be talked to, reasoned with, or have much expectations of.
Right. So I don't expect much from the people in the room, but I do think that just because Donald Trump has been saying it, and frankly, the fact that Donald Trump has been like this for so long.
The magically delicious. Sorry. Simone Sanders, since you wore this, where in DC can I get the best Irish stew? Help me out here. Lord have mercy.
And he has not ever course corrected, is as much as an indictment, I think, on our political discourse and the coverage of him than the people standing in that room. Like Donald, first of all, he called the president racist on top of everything.
That's the truth. He is a racist, and he's been known to hang out with racists. What's the problem? How's he not a racist? Maybe I missed it. How's he not a racist? Racial jungle, that wasn't racist. Super predators, that's not racist. If you're not for me or Trump, you ain't black. That's not racist. Maybe my racist moral compass is the same. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the same with y'all. It's not the same with them. How was this not? How were those three statements not racist? Come on, Simone. Does he have to call you a black bee for you to figure out that he's a racist? I mean, he didn't fight for your job when Kamami fired you. Let's just tell the truth. I know you said you left, but we know you got fired. But you're okay. All right.
He said that Joe Biden was a racist. He said that black people can identify with me because they're telling me I've been discriminated against. Like
yeah, and we left at him for that.
Talked about the fact that a lot of black people are buying a mugshot shirt and they were printing them.
Where were these black people? Hey, show of hands in the chat. Put a 1 if you bought the shirt. Put a 2 if you bought the shirt. The one with his. If you didn't buy it, the one with the mugshot on it. Because I'm just going to put the 2 up there now. I didn't buy that shit. Oh, Torian. Torian already started violence. Good afternoon, brother. Yes, we saw the photo. She looked like a Secret Service worker. We know. She said, "Get down, Mr. Jewish white man. I'll protect you." She looked like Pocahontas with John Smith. Daddy, no. Don't club him to death. He's a good white man. I know his name is John Smith and not John Brown, but he's a good white man. All right. The magically delicious.
Sell them up themselves. They are with me. I do know a lot of people that bought the mugshot shirt. You know,
you know a lot of people that bought that shirt. So she's just out here snitching on people. All right. And I'm sure they bought that because it was a novelty item. And I'm sure you had a hearty laugh when they showed it to you. All right.
Donald Trump has been 4 times indicted, 91 counts. The only reason we have a mugshot is because of the black DA in Fulton County and the black sheriff that made sure he got one to ensure that he knew that he was not above the law. So it is disgusting. It is offensive. I was gravely offended by the South Carolina party chair the Republican party chair who said, I mean, if you don't know by now, if I don't know by now, what?
Ma'am, how many of these celebrities have mugshots and they're still working? No hit really to their financial futures. Maybe we should discuss that one time. Since you want to be like this here. Wait, I gotta do it right. Since you want to be like that there. Felicity Huffman. She got a mugshot. She was out in 30 days, family, and paid a little bit of a fine. And then she got to go on TV and talk about how she understands what the black and brown people go through when the FBI burst in my house. Yeah. Oh, and she's on a board for a nonprofit who is supposed to help people that come out of jail transition. Interesting. That's great. Yeah, Stephen Collins. Yeah. Nah, he never got arrested, but he just disappeared and he committed crimes. But all right. Robert Downey Jr. has mugshots. I know we all love Iron Man, but he's got mugshots. And he's arguably one of the greatest actors that ever lived now. Mark Wahlberg has a mugshot, and he's one of the greatest actors living today. Should we keep going down the list? I think we should afford Jonathan Majors the same courtesy. I think so. I guess not. All right.
Then you
what am I supposed to
know me
accept?
For sure.
What am I supposed to accept? When the sneakers came out, we didn't say it on the show that week. Right. We said it in the break. We were talking. I'm like, oh, it's really offensive because they think black people gonna vote for them for sneakers. And then people go on Fox News and they say, black people gonna vote for sneakers. Like it.
So what did you call Biden serving cookout to a black family in North Carolina? What'd you call that? Oh, family dinner with the president, right? All right. It's funny how y'all's standards and captions change when it's the other person you don't like. I see it. And my brother in bald Christ, you should be like the brother over here. Just let it go, brother. Just let it go. The ladies will love you still. Just let it go, brother. It worked for John Lewis. He got a woman that was 40 years his junior. It'll work for you, brother. Just let it go.
At this point, it is like black Americans deserve a elevated discourse. Do they not think black men care about the economy?
Like the sneakers, and then as we were talking about in the last block, and
by the way, they're magically delicious.
Menthol cigarettes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's all we do is we wear.
Oh, we're gonna bring up the cigarettes. Great. EJ Johnson II. Can we bring up how Biden? No, it was the White House official Twitter page put up the economy saved you 17 cents for the cookout. Should we do that? And they put it up bold for everybody to see that. Should we put that up? July 2021. Should we do that? Or 2022? I forgot the year. Might have been 2022. Should we put that up? What about we should put up Kamami's first Kwanzaa address as Madam Vice President when she was talking about be and do about Kuji Jakalia? Huh? Talking about somehow she celebrated Kwanzaa in Canada. How? That's not even your culture. How? Yeah. Oh, yes, Jacoby. Yes, she did. But Hillary Clinton's not on the docket yet. But yes, she had hot sauce in her bag. She said that to Roland Martin, and everybody thought it was funny. And Roland had to show old Miss Hilly how much he is on the plantation by doing that fake wobble. Yeah. All right. Continue.
Wear gold lame sneakers and we smoke menthol cigarettes.
But you have to.
Oh, and we have mug shots too. So
you have to understand, though, this is a room of very unique kind of black folk. Okay, it's a bunch of bad lineups and members only jackets, right? Like that's what we're dealing with here. And so I'm not surprised.
Unique type of black folk. Say that again.
Understand, though, this is a room of very unique kind of black folk. Okay, it's a bunch of bad lineups and members only jackets, right? Like that.
Sir, what do you call this? they own themselves. What do you call this? Miss Hilly, look at my jacket, Miss Hilly. Looks at it. Miss Hilly, I know it look a little dirty on the side, but Miss Hilly, I looks clean. Miss Hilly, I just don't want to warm up your bed again. You've done things to me last time, Miss Hilly. Don't do that to me, Miss Hilly. Yo, look at the coos. Wow. I can't believe this man just said that. Sir, okay, so you laugh at them on Friday about their suits, tuxedos and whatnot. Sir, you got this Democrat suit on. So what are we saying? This is the aesthetic of a broken black man on cable TV. Jesus Christ. I said it.
Hey!
I'm just saying, you and Shaq probably got the same tailor. I'm just saying. All right, go ahead.
That's what we're dealing with here. And so I'm not surprised that these sorts of people accept that. These are the same people who listen to Killer Mike. These are the same people who listen to idiots on podcasts. These are the same.
There we go. Now they're going to talk about us. Here we go. This is what I really wanted y'all to listen to, family. I don't like this Bluetooth that I got in my thing. I might have to figure this out. This is the part. This is the part. Idiots on podcasts. Okay. Hey, Shaq Jr. We have been right for years. Shaq Jr. I know, self-serving what I'm about to do. Self-serving. I predicted Biden and Harris way back in Halloween 2019 after she got trounced by old Tulsi Gabbard. I was probably the only person on the internet that knew that was going to happen. Sounds like I was right. I told people Y'all screw around out here. They're going, by the time we get to the election, they're going to start striking black channels. What have they been doing? I know it hasn't been broadcast, but what have they been doing? Striking black channels. Idiots on podcasts. Seems the idiots on podcasts have been telling y'all the playbook, but y'all don't want to listen because you think that we're just emotional black voters who talk about reparations all day and we don't know what the hell's going on here. Yet we're not sitting in ivory towers like y'all, just ignoring what the average everyday black person is speaking, because we can't ignore it, because we are the everyday black person that is going out there working a 9 to 5. We don't have contracts like y'all. We don't get to more or less say what we want to say within the confines of a contract. We say it, and it comes with the territory, and we say what we want to say. How'd that work out for Tiffany Cross? Oh, let me guess. She kept it real, right? They didn't like that. They didn't like that, so they got rid of her. It's funny. Y'all say Joy Reid keep it real, but she's been steadily declining in ratings. Only time she really gets some run is if she has on some guests or she's on a panel. Nobody says, you got to watch the readout tonight. Never heard it. But I can go down the timeline. People are retweeting Tariq. People are retweeting TBA. They're putting up clips. They're putting up clips of our shows. Seems like the idiots with the podcast are winning. By the way, it seems like the idiots with the podcast are winning because they're making more money than you. Interesting how that worked out.
Number of black folks who listen to Joe Rogan. Those people are out there. I'm less concerned with anybody who is okay with Trump's racism than I am with the people who are so disconnected from the process that they're not worried about his racism. Those people are more of a concern for me than the
people have recognized Trump's racism for the last 40 years. What the hell are you talking about? Sir, people loved his racism so much they laughed every time he said something racist. They were cool with it. You know why they were cool with it? Because they were making money. Trump was entertaining. Y'all loved him. You assholes. Maybe y'all should have taken a book from him in 2016. Nah, y'all put Biden up there. Now the racism is overt. And you don't like it because people have been calling it out. Even the people, even his ardent supporters have been calling it out. But all right. But I want y'all to notice something about this conversation. They keep talking about Trump and Biden. They're not talking about local elections. It's been about halfway through this. They haven't said anything about the local elections yet. They're so worried about 1600. They don't realize that Congress can fuck up everything. Congress can pull their license tomorrow. They don't even realize this. But all right. Trump is the boogeyman. All right.
people vote for the guy.
This is his pitch, though, to the sneakers with this. Yes, he was speaking to the room, but the cameras were there. He was speaking to black people across the country.
They're magically delicious. They're magically delicious. Get your box of Lucky Coons at your local grocery store today.
With this, yes, he was speaking to the room, but the cameras were there. He was speaking to black people across the country. These are their talking points. This is what it is. I mean, let's just be clear about Donald Trump's record for black people, because I wrote it down. Under Trump, the black unemployment rate went up and the uninsured rate.
Why did it go up, Simone? Why did it go up? Why did it go up? Maybe she'll say it at the end.
Went up. His tax scam reinforced discrimination.
His tax scam. Okay. The same tax plan that y'all ignored for 6 years.
The typical white household got double the cut of a typical black household.
Why is that? Why is that?
The COVID response disproportionately affected black people.
How did it affect us, ma'am? How did it affect us? Come on. You're getting there. How did it affect us? Educate the people. The magically delicious.
Us dead disproportionately affected black-owned businesses. They closed.
Why, Simone? What was the factor? Come on, you're almost there.
He pushed to bring back stop and frisk.
When did he do that? Let's look this up. She could be right. When did he bring back stop and frisk? Let me see. Maybe she could be right. She could be right. She could be right. Now it says he's open to a nationwide stop and frisk program. He said that back in 2016. He said that way back in 2016. Okay, Simone, we want to fuck with you. No, we don't. Please tell the truth. Who is running stop and frisk right now? Who loves the policy of stop and frisk right now? Because y'all sitting up here keep talking about racism. I'd rather deal with the bigot I know than the racist I don't. We all know Donald Trump is an admitted bigot. We already know this. Now, you're not going to convince everybody that he's a racist. That's fine. But you're not going to sit up here and tell us that Joe Biden is not a racist when he literally hung out with people that were in the Klan. You're not about to do that. Strom Thurmond was an open racist. That was one of his boys. Eastland, one of his. Way racist. Robert Byrd literally brought white people into the Klan. Why? Because Maxine Waters eulogized him and said she accepted his apology because she thinks he's changed. Oh. So the Democrat who brought white men in and let them get radicalized. He can change. But the guy you don't like, you don't think he can change. I got it. Just want to establish the ground rules. And once again, the magically delicious.
Do we need to go back to Central Park 5, birtherism? There's a list here. I can go on.
Well, it's.
Why does she look so pissed off? Why are you so upset? She looked like somebody just took her weave off. I'm not even going to hold you. Why is she so upset? And what? Never mind.
Especially because he's never let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? So, of course, he was going to go up there and spin his record. That is what he does in front of every group. I think the thing we're all trying to figure out
every
is
politician does that, ma'am.
Right? He's trying to just siphon off enough black voters and create a permission structure where it may say, you may have voted for Democrats all your life, but it is okay for you to vote for me, which is what I'm almost more curious about how Democrats then counter that narrative.
He literally did it in 2016 when he said, vote for me. What do you got to lose? And he got 50% of the black vote and 4% of the black female vote. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ. Okay.
How they close that permission structure.
Look, she's going back on the phone. Never mind. She went right back on the phone. You saw how quick she picked up her phone? What are you picking up the phone for? How did you wait a minute? Her phone is flipped over. So I was gonna assume that she got a message or something, and, you know, it shocked her, but her phone was flipped over. Why did you grab your phone so quick?
About how Democrats then counter that narrative. How they close.
Bruh. Why did you grab your phone like that? Jesus. Stop it. William, you stop it right now. Her eyelashes are not falling off.
Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert. I'll leave her alone. They're just imitating what she did with Bernie Sanders. Just let her live. Let her live. And look at her. Why are you shocked? What did you see on that phone?
Close that permission structure.
And she was like, the hell?
There is no permission structure. I don't think, my personal philosophy on this, my intellectual philosophy on this, it ain't about switching votes. Okay, Donald Trump, Killer Mike, any of his surrogates, any rapper that he got out of jail.
Now you're equating Killer Mike to Trump. Okay.
Yes, it's about keeping people home. It's about saying Joe Biden is terrible. I'm terrible. Your life hasn't changed much. Don't get involved. Yes, he ain't trying to switch anybody over. He's trying to get you to stay home.
It is a voter.
Weren't y'all the same ones that said if you stay home, that's a vote for Trump? So he can't lose for winning. This is Jason Johnson, aka Shaq Jr. Jr. That's what we're gonna call him, Shaq Jr. Jr. This would be Shaquille O'Neal if he didn't have the 7 feet, pause, and he couldn't play basketball. I guess y'all forgot that without student loan debt forgiveness for the people that actually voted for him, they're not going outside for him. Or we're just gonna bypass that, right? Okay. He keeps giving legacy loans debt forgiveness, not the 20-year-olds. Nobody has a problem with that. Y'all just bypass that. Okay. By the way, it's unconstitutional what he's doing, but you know, this is Joe Biden. But okay. Let Trump would have been doing this. Then he's like, oh, he's buying votes. Y'all need to lock him up. He's stealing money from the taxpayers. Okay, if Joe Biden's stealing money from the taxpayers. Supreme Court said so. Well, that was his promise. He's supposed to do that. Okay.
Depression tactic. In 2016, he won 8% of Black voters across the country. In 2020, again, about 8% of Black voters. The last election.
That's a lie. He doubled. Why do you lie like this? He doubled both sectors. The magically delicious.
He got about 8, I do believe 9% of Black voters. To the point that Gary made at the top of the show, if it's the margins that matter here, because this is going to be a close election. And
no, man, it's not going to be a close election because if Biden keeps going the way he goes, and Trump, if he gets somebody around him that's going to keep him straight, it's going to be a landslide. But yeah, y'all not going to tell the truth. But all right.
And if Donald Trump is able to, instead of getting 8%, maybe he takes up to 12 or 13, or that and the depression of some Black votes is enough for people to stay home. I encourage people to, because I have Black men in my life that voted for Donald Trump in 2016. Okay, my husband is not one of them, because I know people. My husband from South Carolina. My husband is not one of them. I just want to be clear. My man is not one of them. But in 2016, I know Black people that voted for Donald Trump, and so I am not shocked nor surprised. But what I do encourage people to do is do their research. It is not true that
you obviously giving them advice that you don't even take yourself. You out here pulling out numbers out of your magically delicious. All right. Why does she have these weird facial expressions? Y'all cannot tell me. Y'all cannot tell me that is not Magic Johnson's son. Yes, Cameron Jones. Good afternoon. Yes, she has a husband called the Nightmare. Yes, he is dubbed DC's Nightmare. He knows all the night spots. Bless his heart.
lowest unemployment rate ever for Black people. That happened under Joe Biden in April of 2020.
Oh Lord. There you go telling that lie. Man, why did he have the lowest unemployment rate for black people in history? Why? I love how y'all keep telling that lie. Why? Did he create jobs or did he just restore jobs that were lost? Why do y'all tell that lie? And for the person that's probably going to go in my comment thread and tell me that how is that not creating jobs? Okay, let's ask this. I create a dish, right? Let's just say I create dinner, right? So I brought something to the table. How would y'all feel if I came around and I just brought leftovers? How y'all gonna feel? I think y'all would throw me out. People are not going to appreciate something that was already there. It's taken away and you're giving it back to them. How would y'all like it if you gave me a birthday / Christmas present? I just rewrap it and give it back to you. Yes, she's married. Still Kevin Tree. She's married to the night mayor. Just put in night mayor DC. You'll see her husband.
Right now, yeah. You know, it's not true that he has, you know, done the most for HBCUs like that.
How do y'all lie like that? Oh my God. How do y'all lie like that? I'm talking about everybody. I ain't just talking about the Democrats. How do y'all lie like that? He did the most, so why'd he pull funding? He did the most. He did the most for HBCUs. Yet HBCUs still have a problem every day. But he's done the most. It's funny, family. They keep telling you that they done stuff for HBCUs, and we don't never see no posts. Where are these posts? Where is the administration liaison that goes down to each of these HBCUs and presenting them with money? Where are the posts? I would love to put it up. Where are they? This jackoff sat up there and said, I'm going to put billions back into these colleges. And then we break the numbers down. Damn near the Native American colleges got more money than the HBCUs. You cannot be, oh Lord, have mercy. How do you, and then you got people under the post talking about this is real shit. Yeah, he's done so much for HBCUs. Howard had a mildew, mold, and infestation of rodents, but he's done so much. That's them going off and stealing credit of what black people have been doing. Because I was one of the many voices that said after affirmative action, black people got to start going back to HBCUs. What have you seen in the last 9 months? Everybody start talking about the HBCUs. And it ain't because he gave them money. Where is the infrastructure? All this money, right? So he gave them all this money, right? So how the hell is Harvard whooping all their asses in endowments if they got all this money? They're not even clearing State University of New York. They're not even clearing that. So where is this money?
That happened under Joe Biden and this administration. Like, it's do your research, folks. Just give a quick Google search, because I can't.
Oh, according,
I mean, it is.
According to y'all, Google be lying.
Is offensive. It is offensive. It is offensive. And for the people to continue to write think pieces and parse what he said, and it's like, oh, well, you know, this is just Trump and it's a play for black voters. This is so
They're magically delicious. The XL version.
Serious. So unserious. Do we not deserve more? And damn it, it's Black History Month.
Research. Yeah, it probably fell off the table. You've done research. That's mighty impressive of you. Research of lies, but it's mighty impressive. You still got to do your research. It's impressive. Okay. It's funny as hell because I know myself. I did that in 2022. I talked about that. $3.7 billion is a lot of money, man. Okay, that's wonderful. So how come, since y'all want to lie like that, what happened here? Now, this was in 2021 when he got into office, his first year. What happened? So by your logic, if we go by his timeline, right? He only invested he only doubled what he put in 2 years. 2.5 years or a year and a half. That's all he did. He just doubled it. My bad. I kicked myself out. I was trying to go. I thought I was on the tab. By your logic, ma'am. Interesting. Interesting. Investing over $7 billion. I wonder how long this is going to take. How long this going to take? The American Rescue Plan and other coffee venereal disease relief. Not new investment. Remember what I said about if you were here about a year and a half ago when they said they found the windfall money? That should tell you something, family. They really didn't care. They said, shit, we found $3 billion. Just give it to them. And then we'll lie and use it. We'll say this is new. Okay, that was the second time that happened. This is not good. I did not plan this. This is the second time it happened. All right. I gotta slow down. I gotta slow down. Let me take a deep breath. Let me take a deep breath. You will not order me around. I think it's the hat. It might be the hat. You said you're curious about to go on Google and look it up. How much did both parties contribute to HBCUs? Well, they said that Trump giving them permanent funding was nothing, but Biden giving them $3.6 billion that he found is something. By the way, Where was his photo op with that? Where's his photo? Where's his video signing the legislation on that? I never saw it. Maybe somebody could point it to me. I never saw it. He announces appointments to the board of advisors. Let's look up Tony Allen one time. Let me see what he looked like. Let's see what he looks like. Okay, so he's still. The nation's most diverse contemporary HBCU. Well. I wonder what makes it diverse. I'm curious. What makes Delaware University so diverse? I'm curious. Well, ain't that something? Ain't that something? There you go. That's what makes it diverse. Tony Allen is you were trolling. I'm okay. I mean, I get it. I guess she's 25 and young. I get it. She got a tattoo on her right shoulder. I get it. She's still a coon. It is what it is. But anyway, Tony Allen is the and there goes my internet again. All right. So he one of them. But this is why they said it's the most diverse contemporary HBCU. 8% white people. 6.8 Hispanic. And I'm sure they're not all Afro-Latinos and Latinas. Multi-ethnic, that's your mixed people. 4.6, that's probably your Africans. Some of them. Unknown. They even got a small percentage of Asians. And they're all not Blasians. That's all right. All right. All right. Why she look like she having an orgasm? Pause. That's crazy.
Pause.
Pause.
I said pause, nigga. Mind you, LeBron is spending $2.5 million on his body. Pause.
I would give it to Barkley. Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I'll let you go. Pause. It's a luxury to have a big man. Pause. They gave him the soft one. The hard one. Pause, nigga.
Yeah, that's wild. Why she look like she's trying to audition for the remake of When Harry Met Sally? Why does she look like she just found the Holy Spirit? Huh. Interesting. So what did y'all think of this so far, family? I feel like this is they just be lying, blood. They just be lying. Like, why lie? Like, it don't make sense. It's like we can't. They really think. I swear, I think they don't think we know how to use the internet. Like, we don't know how to look this stuff up ourselves. It'd be funny as hell. And then when we do it, we just got idiot podcasts. All right. Seems like the idiot podcasts have been winning. Like I said before. But who said that? Cosmo Fury, hello. Get the Godzilla sound effects for this screenshot? Huh. That's an interesting thought. There you go. Not black views and hello, you do exist. It's just they don't want y'all to exist. Mm. Mm. That's crazy. Oh, what is? Oh, Jesus. Don't start. That's my kid.
Fuck out of here.
That's for both of them, actually. The fuck? Now, see, somebody put Cosmo Fury in timeout. Put this man in timeout. He really want me to get thrown off the broadcast. Like I didn't do it twice myself.
Pause.
Pause.
He paused. I said pause, nigga. Mind you, LeBron is spending $2.5 million on his body. Pause.
I would give it to Barkley. Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I'll let you go. Pause.
Go ahead.
It's a luxury to have a big man. Pause. They gave him the soft one. The hard one. Pause. Pause, nigga.
That is a wild statement. I can't believe you just said that. All right, we gotta go. I can't be spending an hour on Simone Sanders. Pause. All right, let's just finish this up. Hey, she said the field goal's good.
And damn it, it's Black History Month.
She threw it on the floor. Field goal's good.
I don't. Here's the thing, though. These are not. I mean, to quote Succession, these are not serious people. They never have been, right? But what
And y'all are serious? All right.
I always look at when I look at any of these conversations about black folks, I always expand it, right? I always expand it to the rising majority that's in this country. Yes. It ain't gonna fall on the shoulders of black people as to whether or not Joe Biden gets elected. The people who are not being discussed enough are the increasingly conservative, young Asian and Latino men in places like Texas and Arizona and Colorado.
Oh my God, he's so okay. Okay, I'm done. Are you insane, sir? Are you insane? Oh my God. So the conservative, Latino, and Asian are going to determine the election. Yes. Okay, let's break this down, family, since we're going to, I don't know, educate these idiots. Sir, number one, let's start with the conservative Asians. You're not smart on that. Conservative Asians, for the most part, rarely go outside for elections unless it's local and it's somebody for them on the ballot. They really don't care about this election. Why do I say that? They lost affirmative action, right? Neither one of those presidents did anything about it. That's not going to be a hot button issue for them because you can't vote out SCOTUS. Now, if you're in North Carolina, you're going to have a problem because when you find out Kenny Jew was running and he was on it, then yeah, but that's a small percentage. Yeah, yeah, the conservative Asian, okay, the conservative Asian is going to go Republican. If they go outside and vote. But this conservative Latino, sir, they're going to vote overwhelmingly Republican because of what Joe Biden did. They already told you, we want our people to come over here, but we don't want them to come over here illegally. They don't like illegal immigration. They didn't told you that. I guess y'all forgot what happened in 2020 when they flipped Miami red. I guess you forgot that. All right. There you go. So now they just try to diminish the black vote, even though they were saying that he was taking it for granted. Why would you diminish the black vote? So I hope watching this video for y'all family just showed you that both sides don't give a fuck about our vote, which is why we're in the driver's seat right now. We can fuck up this entire country November 5th. And they're going to be sitting there on their nice panels, 10 deep, pause, wondering why the fuck black people didn't come outside. We haven't seen, one of them is going to say some shit like, we haven't seen too many black people outside. It's kind of shocking. I know we were talking shit earlier in the year, but we didn't think they weren't going to stay home. We thought it was just internet rhetoric. Now they're going to say the idiot podcasters are radicalizing the black community. Okay. There was this. One more time before we get up out of here. They're magically delicious. Then we go to this. It's been a while since I talked about this asshole. And I think it's time for a nice roasting. I kind of like, I'm seeing that my family's from the island. I kind of have a thing for conch. I like fried conch. I think we're gonna fry some conch tonight.
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Let me explain something to y'all. If you fixing to come outside and talk about politics, the first thing you got to do is make sure you check your spelling. Now, I get it. Sometimes when you're on X, you type some shit and you might misspell a word or two. I get it. But when you got this thing right here, they give you the option to edit your tweet. You last edited it on the day of my mother's birth, and you still fucked around and didn't spell Trump's name right, and you wrote the wrong word for mine. You wrote mine. But we're supposed to take you serious because you ran and said, I'm going to do a Twitter space. Was the comments made by Trump in South Carolina racist? What the fuck did you think it was? And why would you do a Twitter space about it? You wanted Trump supporters to come in there and say it wasn't racist? Why? So you can argue with them? So, family, I want y'all to understand, this man went from misspelling his own tweet where he had opportunities to correct it after people corrected him on it, such as myself. Then he does a Twitter space the next day for 5.5 hours talking about if Trump's comments at the Black Conservative Federation was racist. There's nothing to do in Miami on a Sunday evening. You didn't want to go to Trick Daddy's restaurant and go get something to eat. You ain't want to do that. You didn't want to go outside in the nice air and go do something. Enjoy the beach. You didn't want to do that. You didn't want to. I'm sure you can afford a boat and go out to the Keys and get some of that good marlin. You ain't want to do that. You read it and raved it for 5.5 hours in a Twitter space about Trump's comments, when you could have spent that mobilizing. If I had that time, I would be outside on a Sunday mobilizing. Have a voting drive. You like stumping down the family. This man was stumping for a Latino candidate for mayor. But we supposed to take him serious? This man, hey, Uncle Luke, I ain't gotta diss you, fam. I ain't even gonna diss you. I got a suggestion for you.
You bring him here, right here. Do you hear me? Right here.
What?
You heard what I said. Just do it.
Let me see you on camera, just like me, and let's rap. I'll be over here. You be on the other side. I want to see the whites of your eyes when you tell me this bullshit that you probably get from Stephen Hunter Johnson. I want to see you stand up to this. Great. Trump's a racist. Great. What is the solution? You have 60 seconds. Sell me on Biden. Go ahead. Sell me. I know they ain't no scantily clad females right now with what they call it with the skips and the high black socks. I understand that. Sell me on Biden. 60 seconds. Let's go. Don't bring no backup. It's just me and you. Two men talking. Let's go. Sell me. Bet you he can't do it. Everything he's gonna try to tell me we have already verified was a lie. But all right. But there you go. The contra wasn't that good. I think I'm gonna send it back to the kitchen. They're gonna have to redo it. I'm still in the mood for some Floridian food. I'm still in the mood. Hey, Plies, come here. Sir, you was talking real big and bad about politics. Why are you talking about ladies now? What happened? Come on, stick. Let's go. Let's go, sir. You can come here too. Yeah, I'm sure these are paid Russian people, right? I'm sure. This is what you're going to tell us, right? Fair use.
Is there a pathway forward for you with Biden?
Oh, absolutely not. You cannot keep killing people with our money and just keep thinking that, oh, we are stupid enough to elect you again because we'll fall in line. We'll forget. How can, this is an insult to me as a voter.
For you.
So when people discuss the issues, Plies, how come I don't see you outside talking about AAPI leaving the Biden plantation? How come? Remember, they gave him that upper tier. He got Michigan. How come y'all not saying nothing? Interesting.
Biden has a pathway forward.
Biden has a pathway forward. It's not.
And what does that look like?
That is him calling for a permanent and immediate ceasefire. The straightforward, simple answer for the Biden administration is push for a ceasefire, stop aiding Israel in their war crimes, and I guarantee you there are enough people who would be willing to deal with it and vote for the man. It is, in so many words, insane to me to have the Democratic Party and the Biden administration sit here and essentially say, if Trump happens, it's your fault.
If you don't.
So now you have a councilman, somebody that sits in a political seat. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't see you say anything about Mikhail Goodman saying what he said. Huh? Plies, come here. I want to see the whites of your eyes too. And bring your teeth. Come here. Let's talk. I'll let you get past your love affair for Kamami. Let's have a conversation.
Want a Trump presidency then? Are you not worried about what he could do domestically to this country?
I am, it's like a vaccine. I'm willing to take short-term pain for a long-term gain. I'm willing. Bars. Say it again. Say it again.
Are you not worried about what he could do domestically to this country?
I am, it's like a vaccine. I'm willing to take short-term pain for a long-term gain.
Well, ain't that something? Ain't that something? Look at that. Short-term investment for long-term dividends. Damn, what a concept. And they'll listen to him. But when we bring up I was about to say revelations. We could bring up revelations too. But when we bring up reparations and anti-hate legislation and locking up these cops, we can't do that. That's what the country tells us. We can't do that. But you can fund a war where in between the war happening, you sit there with one of your counterparts in Asia, because Israel's in Asia, having fights on the phone about what you're going to do with the leveled land when it's all said and done. I'm surprised Magically Delicious did not bring that up when she was ranting and raving about what Biden has done. For all his neurons not firing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 366 days of the year, because it's a leap year. Thank you, Torian. He told you this is about land, oil, and water. But y'all missed it. But the Arab man is telling you, I'd rather deal with Trump because I know I'm going to get out of this war, no more genocide, and we can go back to fixing our country. They're telling you this. And you'll listen to him. But when we tell you this, you tell us that we have idiot podcasts and we're just being emotional. Okay.
I'm willing to let go of Joe Biden and oppose Joe Biden, make him a one-term president, punish Joe Biden by making him a one-term president and pairing his loss with the genocide in Gaza.
Why does our democracy, why is having a Trump presidency more important than those people's lives? Why is our democracy more important than thousands of men, women, and children being killed?
Oh my God. Oh boy, but they say it's okay. Hey, Plies, what's up? Plies is my dude because he knows what's up. Tell him to come here. I'll prove he don't know what he's talking about. There you go. Because let me tell y'all why they're tuning in to Plies and Luke about politics, because they're scared of the truth. That's why. They're scared. They know they go down that rabbit hole. They ain't gonna like what they find. And every perception that they had and concept that they've ever learned gets thrown out the window. And they're going to have to re-educate themselves. People have told you this. Re-educating someone is probably one of the most difficult jobs you can have in life. But all right. He's happy that Fannie Willis brought up Grey Goose. Hey, Plies, where's that Trump video when you were laughing at the shoes? Where's that video? Look, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm starting to like the casual racism he gives you. Really? Casual racism. See what I mean? Hey, Plies is working, y'all. I hope you know that. 10-1. I bet you he voted for Trump in 2020. 10-1. But all right. But all right. He stole classified documents, which he could take, but okay. He tired. He another one. Hey, you might have been right about that Floridian slang. He tired. All right. He started insurrection. All right. Now see, Plies. See here. See, this could get you sued for libel, sir. That's slander. He could sue you and take your publishing, and you'd have to go back out on concert. But entertainers are not our leaders, so it is what it is. All right, we move on. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we're going to have to play the crying man. I know. I know. We got to play him. I know. But he says something. He did. Fair use. I wonder if he's going to cry in 2024 when Trump's elected again. Is he going to have another hard conversation with his kids?
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Now, as y'all know, Trump won South Carolina. I thought for a second that was Nikki Haley, but it's not. He won South Carolina, so it is what it is. Now, March 5th is Super Tuesday, so down here in Georgia, we're going to have to vote along with like 14 other states. And I'd predict he'll get 14 out of 15. I think she'll get one state, and that's going to embolden her to stay in. But let's hear what they said about Donald Trump winning South Carolina. Fair use.
Victory speech, overwhelming results in South Carolina. We called it right at the top of the hour as soon as the polls closed. Back to the team here in New York. Listen, you've heard a lot of Trump speeches.
Yeah, I mean, RIP the Reagan GOP. There's something so jarring about watching Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott, all of who condemned him after January 6th, lining up to do their best campaign rally impersonation and saying this is the most qualified man to be president.
The night of January 6th, Lindsey Graham was saying he was,
I'm done with him.
Enough.
I mean, listen, it is the greatest political comeback in history. Just 3 years ago, he was done in the party, and it only took a matter of months before he came back and handily won in Nikki Haley's home state.
They really thought he was done. That's the funny part. They really thought he was done. All right. You really thought he was done.
Graham and Tim Scott, all of who condemned him after January 6th, lining up to do their best campaign rally impersonation and saying this is the most qualified man to be president.
The night of January 6th, Lindsey Graham was saying he was,
I'm done with him.
Enough.
I mean, listen, it is the greatest political comeback in history. Just 3 years ago, he was done in the party, and it only took a matter of months before he came back and handily won in Nikki Haley's home state. The question now becomes this. She's held on. We'll see where the margins break down tonight to about just under a third of Republican votes in some of these primaries. How many of those votes will go to Donald Trump? Because he will need those in a general election. Some of those are never going to be with him, but how many is the open question now?
Okay, I mean, for me, Tim Scott is obviously auditioning to be vice president. And every time Trump just ritually humiliates him, talks about him having low energy, makes fun of his campaign, and then Tim Scott gets out there and he tries to do something that's really not natural to him, and then he walks off. But
you mean like you crying?
We were talking about before. This is kind of the pathway that Pence got on, and so you might not just be watching the resurrection of a Tim Scott, but you might also be watching the rise of a resurrection of Trump.
Bro, hey, get your thoughts together. Oh boy, you out there stumbling over your own words, my man. Come on, slow down.
Targeted a child.
You got to get off the crack pipe, man, please.
No.
The rise of Tim Scott.
I cannot think of a Republican that I want to be vice president more than Tim Scott.
Sure.
We love Tim Scott. Yeah. All Republicans of all stripes love Tim Scott. And I agree with what Donald Trump said. I think he's a good man. Yes. I think, and I think he's a humble man. And I want him to do whatever he has to do to get this job. I really do, because I think
you're in luck.
Oh, we know why you want him on there, sir. So you can make racial jokes and get away with it. We know. And we don't even like Tim Scott. We don't even like shackles off my feet like that. But we know why you want him on the panel. You know why you want him in the Oval Office.
You are being lied to.
But, you know. Oh boy.
You should feel good.
You all are down on what is going on here, but politics has become performative, and he is doing what he has to do. And if he is on this ticket, Republicans are going to love it. They're going to love it. So I'm glad to see him going all around.
Tim Scott is I firmly believe Tim Scott is a good man.
Yes.
I've said that many times before. My line about Tim Scott is that I would give Tim Scott a kidney if he asked me, but I'd never vote for him, right? But the person that Tim Scott has become while auditioning, you call it auditioning, I'd probably call it something else if I was just talking to audience.
Say it. Come on, you're black. They'll let you get away with it. Say it. Say it. You scared Negro. Say it. He's cooning. You know, us idiot podcasters, we can say that.
In Van, and we were in a room by ourselves. But what he's doing right now is embarrassing. And I think this is not the Tim Scott.
Yeah, like what you're not
been doing. No, but
like what you haven't been doing is embarrassing. All right.
You also see this happen with many men and women who actually find themselves in this Trump orbit. I mean, this is not who Lindsey Graham, we knew Lindsey Graham to be before.
He wouldn't even show his face in Munich this time, after years and years going with John McCain to the conference that celebrates the NATO alliance. He wouldn't even show up.
And thank you. That bolsters the point that I'm making. And you're seeing a shell of who Tim Scott really is. He's not the rah-rah, this is Trump country, woo-ha, let's go do this. I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, what does he get from this? I mean,
maybe the vice presidency.
Maybe, but if he misses, what is he, HUD director?
No, he's a U.S. senator from South Carolina and one of the most respected Republicans in the country.
But he's losing. But he's losing. No, not either way. My point, and I think Van's point, and everybody else's point, is that you're losing respect day by day by going out here and audition.
There is a segment of lifelong Republicans who are mortified by what Tim Scott's doing. We are definitely the minority. You're absolutely right, Scott. But there are some of us who are like, we thought you were one of the good ones. We thought you were going to do
one of the good ones. All right. So Bakari sell out. So you wanna you like Tim Scott enough to give his organ, take his organ or whatever you said, but not to vote for him. You mean like this here?
For what?
Your heart.
Oh Lord, your heart. All right. All right, Bakari sell out. All right, we got you. We got you.
To also certifying the election question. That's fundamental.
Subjugation is the toll you have to pay
when you enter Trump's world. You have to subjugate the whole party is subjugating itself to Donald Trump.
Yeah. So who the hell are the Democrats subjugating to? It ain't the squad, it's Joe Biden, sir. Nancy Pelosi ain't there no more. That's Joe Biden's party, sir. And Soros to a lesser extent. Fuck you mean?
Which is why, I understand the point about making it it's embarrassing that the black guy doing this. A lot of white guys are doing it too, right? And on Elizabeth's point, I agree with that. I know a lot of conservatives and Republicans who wince when they see some of, particularly the New Hampshire victory speech thing, where he came on and after Vivek Ramaswamy and really did not cover himself in glory. Where I disagree a little bit with Alyssa, and where I think it's sort of significant here that Nikki Haley stays in, is I really think the future of American politics is going to be the future of factions. And I miss the days, we were better off when the Democratic Party had really strong and robust competing factions where they had to negotiate with each other. Republican Party desperately needs that. What Nikki Haley staying in the race does, I mean, there are a lot of things it does, but one of the things it does is it solidifies and gives permission structure for a big chunk of the Republican Party to be a non-Trump faction. And since Trump is not going to appoint a single person in his second administration to be a check on him, not one who could successfully do it, there are going to be no Barrs and Kellys or any of that kind of people. The only way to hold him in check is to have a constituency in the Republican Party that will punish senators and congressmen who don't push back on some of the crazy.
Can I ask a question, though? But can she actually do that, or is she the leader or creator of this mold that's a faction? If, for example, tonight, to David's point, she doesn't even do well in the 1st Congressional District, which is the most moderate, which is it's Charleston, it's Berkeley, it's Dorchester, it's where you would think somebody like Nikki Haley can do well. If she gets bludgeoned there, and then disregard the rest of the state, can she be the leader of this?
Yes, sir. My only point, pushing back on what Alyssa said, when she said RIP to the Reagan GOP, my point is it's sort of like Miracle Max. It's only mostly dead. And the way you build it back is by building up a faction like this.
Can I get a couple points? I want to ask you a question, but it's the language is so funny because you could say the same words and they can mean something completely different. Nikki Haley says, "I'm not going anywhere." And the Trump folks are saying, "You're not going anywhere." They're saying the same thing, but it's really, really different. My question to you is if she says in the near term, yes, when I raised my hand and said that I would vote for Trump even if he were convicted, can she be the leader of that faction? Do you have to pay that toll in order to be the leader of the faction?
I think it'll be really hard. And I should say, full disclosure, my wife used to work for Nikki Haley. I know Nikki Haley. I have no connection to her now. I think it would be really hard. It'd be really hard to say the things that she's been saying and then endorse them. But at the same time, like in 1976, Reagan ran, he didn't win, and he created a faction. That's the history of the GOP. Is the team.
What do you think she says? What does she say
Their
tonight?
term next time.
What does Nikki Haley come out and say tonight?
I don't know. This sounds like fan fiction to me. I'm sorry. I just two things. One, I don't think there's anyone who is supportive of Trump right now that doesn't want to be there. I don't think that Tim Scott feels he's subjugating himself any more than Elise Stefanik does at CPAC right now. The era where there were people who kind of went along to get along to be in office is over. If you are on stage with Trump right now, I do think you are along because you want to be there. And Tim Scott has been performing a necessary action for Trump, who is always trying to show, I'm not that racist, right? That's like always the argument. And he represents that, just like Vivek Ramaswamy did. The other thing is,
that's the first real thing anybody said on that panel all night. So even this black woman recognized that ramen noodles was a racist. But the trolls and the bots will tell you he wasn't. But all right.
we're looking at South Carolina like it's the same South Carolina from a years ago, even though it's had explosive growth from both red and blue states. but Republicans from those states, which means the people who are going there are not the people who knew her before. And if anything, they're probably Trump supporters from other states. It's part of our cultural self-sorting. I don't think the rump state you're talking about of Republicans is just going to rise up this election. It sounds like it's a years-long project.
Yeah, it is a
and I
years-long
don't
project.
think...
I'm not talking about anything for 2024. I'm talking about the future of the Republican Party.
Well, and Anderson, you asked like what Nikki Haley has to do tonight. I have to say, I'm hearing from my Republican sources who are basically saying, look, she now is potentially going to pay a price for staying in to her own political future, whatever that may be, especially if this is...
Didn't you hear people saying, we still like her, it's just not her time? I didn't hear people saying she's excommunicated.
If she stays in and continues to run against Trump, I think that there is going to be... I'm just picking up this sense that there are going to be more...
Trump did himself harm in New Hampshire when he stood up and behaved as badly as he did in a moment of triumph, just acting like a jerk. And I think he tried to avoid that tonight. I wouldn't mistake that for the idea that they'll all be cool if she hangs around too long.
I mean, she's now running to be president of I Told You So. I mean, the faction you're talking about is predicated on Trump winning the nomination, losing the presidency, and then she gives a speech and says, I told you. That's the fact.
I'm an I told you so guy.
I've
been cutting myself for 6 years.
Alyssa, then we got to go back.
There is a reality where we could have a conviction of Donald Trump come down late summer. And I think Nikki Haley wants to stay in the race to be the person who's been raising money, raising her name ID, talking to both sides of the party, and the person who's pulling the best head-to-head against Donald Trump.
It is insane to think that the party is going to turn
I acknowledge
to Nikki
that.
Haley
That is the...
Yeah, okay. All right. Now they just babbling. Okay. Enough of that. My kid just ethered me. All right. Oh, Jesus. This motherfucker just told me to get up. I can't even have fun with y'all. You saw that bullshit? She come from outside. She don't go wash her hands. She come in here worry about some burgers that I'm gonna go make. No, I'm not giving her a mic. She'll start talking shit. All right. I think we've gotten the gist of what this show was about today, family. People are retarded. They really are missing it. When that thing shows up, boy, we just gonna be sitting there like, we told you so.
But you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?
Embarrassing. They gonna learn. November 5th, boy. November 5th. Y'all ain't never seen a bloodbath in real time? Woo. All right, family. I'm gonna go make these burgers. Sliders. I'm gonna go make sliders. But Jesus, what have we learned today? They still don't get it. They still don't get it. It doesn't matter who you vote for. Make sure your Congress is straight. All the president's going to do at that point is just sign the legislation or veto it. And that's going to tell you a lot. I'm worried about First and East Capitol Streets. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I'm going to keep saying that. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, y'all. We're going to end the show here. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I have done my job. If not, we'll try to be better next time. I got a new series coming up. I probably will put it on members only, the intro, until I work it out a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be fun. So be on the lookout for that if you are a member. And then the rest of y'all will see it at the end of the week. It's a new series coming. But yeah. It's been an interesting run today because they don't fucking get it. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence, including yours truly, who kicked himself out of the live twice.
After 2 seconds, 1 second.